Welcome to Grad Health Work Program, sponsored by Counseling Research Institute of Kenya. Your presenter is Stephen Kamore. The focus of this episode is on parenting. The topic of our discussion is parental burnout, the recovery process. We have in one of our previous programs discussed parental burnout, focusing on signs and symptoms to observe. And therefore, even as we continue with this episode, I would still recommend, if you have not listened to the previous episode on parental burnout and signs and symptoms, kindly go to the YouTube and listen. Then you'll be able to connect what we discussed in that episode with what we are discussing now. Our focus in this program is what you can do as a parent on the process of recovering from parental burnout. Remember, we say that parental burnout takes a process to develop, and therefore it also takes a process to heal. So you don't expect healing to take place instantly. It takes a process. So what are some of the strategies that you can use for self-healing? Strategy number one is practicing self-care. Now, this is a practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's health. Self-care involves activities you deliberately engage in with the aim of taking care of personal, mental, emotional, and physical health. Sometimes, as a parent, you put a lot of efforts to meet the needs of the family members, your employers, or friends, or even the society in general, before meeting your own needs. Working to please and care for others may often interfere with your self-care routine and can take a toll on your well-being. In your family, my listener, you are more than a parent or a spouse. You are an individual with a specific interest in needs and even forms of expressions. And therefore, you need self-awareness as an aspect of self-care. As a parent, you should be aware of your interests, your needs, your emotions, your weaknesses, and strengths to be able to come up with your own brand of self-care. Your personal brand of self-care will depend on what works best for you, what you enjoy, your energy level, your personality, and other factors. Some of the self-care activities you may engage yourself in includes getting enough sleep so that you can rest, keeping physically active, avoiding drugs and alcohol, making time for personal care, eating healthy, and also taking care of your health needs. If you feel parental burnout setting in, if you feel demoralized and exhausted, it is best, for the sake of everyone, including your family, to withdraw and restore yourself. Point number two, ask for help. People fear to ask for help when overwhelmed. Trying to be a super mom or a super dad is a recipe for stress. Time and again, my listener, people share with me the difficulties they have in asking for help. My listener, it is a fact that we all have moments in our lives when we require the assistance of others. The biggest reason many seems to have for staying stuck rather than reaching out is simply fear. People fear they will be rejected or told no, or they fear being seen as less than or weak, or sometimes they fear being found out that they are suffering. My listener, asking for help takes self-awareness and courage. The Bible encourages us to ask when we are in need. If you read the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7 to 8, the Bible records, "Ask and it will be given to you. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. Everyone who asks will receive. The one who searches will find. The door will be opened to the one who knocks." So you have to take an initiative to ask. You have to take an initiative to seek, and you have to take an initiative to knock the door. Point number 3. Practice self-compassion, or what I call self-love. Now, this is actually supported by the Holy Scripture. If you read the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 30 to 31, the Bible records that love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, and with all your strength. Then it continues to record that the second commandment is this: love your neighbor as yourself. Meaning that you cannot love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. So what is self-compassion? Self-compassion is being warm and understanding toward yourself as a parent when you suffer, fail, or even feel inadequate. Self-compassion involves a consistent attitude of acceptance and kindness toward self. The most powerful relationship you can ever have as a parent is the relationship with yourself. My advice to you: do not criticize yourself for what is not going right in the family. This can lead to low self-esteem. Sometimes it can lead to irritability and eventually lead to burnout. Now, the question you could be asking yourself, then how can I practice self-compassion? I can give you a few hints. 1, learn to comfort your body. Eat something healthy, rest your body, or sometimes take a walk. There are so many ways of comforting your body when you feel exhausted. You can also give yourself encouragement. If something bad or painful happens to you, think of what you'd say to a good friend if the same thing happened to him or her. And my advice to you is this: direct those compassionate responses toward yourself. You can also practice what we call mindfulness. Now, this is the non-judgmental observation of your own thoughts, feelings, and actions without trying to suppress or deny them. When you look into the mirror, you can go there and try. You don't like what you see. Accept the bad with a good and compassionate attitude. A moment of self-compassion, my listener, can change your entire day. In the long run, it can also change your course of life. Do not take your health for granted. Do not take your body for granted. Do something today that communicates to your body that you desire to care for it. Remember, tomorrow is not promised, so do it today. Point number 4. Get out of yourself. If you want to boost your resistance to burnout, get outside yourself and do something that has nothing to do with your family routine. Do whatever you must to get the focus off your own family problems. You need to have a diversion, particularly when times are difficult. Now, sometimes you could also be asking yourself, how do I get out of myself? There are few suggestions I can give you. You can decide just to listen to music. You can move aloud or go for a walk. You can be a storyteller instead of being a ruminator. A ruminator is somebody who keeps on repeating the same things, redigesting the same problems every now and then. You can have some fun. You can engage in community activity, among many other things. But it must be something that will help you to switch your mind off from your problems and focus on something new that will give you joy and help you to replenish your energy. Point number 5, eliminate control battles. Now, the families are suffering control battles. Control battles may involve the husband or the wife, or sometimes it also involves children and their parents, and especially the teenagers. My advice to you as a parent, embrace dialogue and healthy conflict resolution strategies to minimize control battles. Point number 6, relax your standards. All ensure that your expectations about self, children, and your spouse are realistic. Now, expecting life to always turn out the way you want can lead to disappointment, because life will not always turn out the way you want it to. When those unfulfilled expectations involve the failure of other people, like the children or even your spouse, to behave the way you expect them to, the disappointment can involve resentment. Now, resentment here, my listener, is a mixture of disappointment, disgust, anger, and sometimes fear. When you stop expecting people to be perfect, you can like them for who they are. Point number 7, learn to be assertive. Now, assertiveness is a core communication skill that can help you express yourself effectively and stand up for your point of view while respecting the rights and beliefs of others. My listener, being assertive can help boost your self-esteem and earn others' respect. If you live your life to please everyone else, you will continue to feel frustrated and powerless. So this is because what others want may not be good for you. And again, you could be asking yourself, how do I demonstrate my assertiveness? I can give you some 5 C's of assertiveness or assertive communication that you can use as appealing. C, number 1, is be clear in your communication. The message you have should be easy to be understood. The second C is confidence. You believe in your ability to handle a situation. Have confidence that you are capable of handling that situation, those challenges, those stressors in your life. C, number 3, is courage. Be brave to speak your mind without fear. C, number 4, be calm. Deliver your information without agitation, bitterness, or anger. Then the last C is courtesy. This simply means be respectful of others and do not hurt their ego when communicating. Point number 9. Avoid comparing self to other parents. Comparison, my listener, is the thief of joy. Accept who you are as a parent and focus on self-growth to be the best version of self. The only person you should try to be better than is who you were yesterday. Everything in life, it becomes easier when you don't concern yourself with what everybody else is doing. Therefore, stop copying what other parents are doing and do what works for you. We have no manual for parenting. In my books, I actually call my books the series The Art of Parenting, because parenting is an art and we do it differently. So what works for others may not work for you. So do what works for you. Point number 10. Use letting go techniques. Now, my listener, letting go means accepting the things you can't change and doing something about the things you can change. Not letting go may have negative effects on you and not the person you are blaming. The energy it takes to maintain the fire of blame prevents you as an individual from moving on and connecting with others. The power of letting go, my listener, involves controlling the meaning you attach to events in your life. So what the meaning you give to that stressor, the meaning you give to that situation that is giving you burnout matters a lot. If you cannot get out of the story you have constructed for yourself, then you cannot move on to a higher and a brighter future. Remember what is disturbing you, what is your own construct, and you can actually construct it differently. So make it a rule of life never to regret and never to look back. Learn to forgive yourself and also forgive others. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner is you, the person I'm talking to. You are having burnout because of an unforgiveness. You are the person who here is the prisoner, and therefore you need to set yourself free. Accept the fact that we live in an imperfect world where people make mistakes. Let go anger and resentment. Free yourself from negative energy by forgiving and moving on. Point number 11. Nurture a positive mindset. You can train and strengthen the power of your mind and use it to make changes in your life. Adopting the right attitude can convert a negative, stressful situation into a positive one. My listener, attitude is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Optimism is a choice. Kindness is a choice. Giving is a choice. Respect is a choice. So, what am I trying to say in brief? Whatever choice you make, makes you. And therefore, my advice to you is choose wisely. Point number 12. Learn to share your feelings. Expressing what you are going through is therapeutic. It is healing. And that's why in counseling we use the word therapy. It is healing. Even if there is nothing you can do to change your stressful situation, just expressing it and sharing it just relieves the feelings that are inside you, and it gives you a relief. You can decide to talk to a trusted friend or make an appointment with a therapist or a counselor. Once again, and many times I've done it in various videos, encouraging my listeners to destigmatize counseling. Let us start embracing these services. They are good, they are therapeutic, and they are meant for you. You don't go to counseling because you are sick, but you go there to share so that at least you can be helped on how to cope with life challenges and be empowered with information. Point number 13. Avoid bringing work-life stress home. Now, there is a relationship between the workplace stress and the life you live at home. And therefore, my advice to you, my listener, is make efforts to separate work and home life. There is nothing better than coming home to a warm welcome from children or even from your spouse. Point number 14. Make efforts to improve on your time management and avoid procrastination. Now, it is a general observation that procrastination can be stressful. You keep on postponing things and you'll have to do them. So it gives you pressure, sometimes even to beat the deadlines. So whatever you want to do tomorrow, my listener, do it today. Whatever you want to do today, do it now. Because procrastination is stressful. There are many other effective stress management strategies that you can explore. I cannot exhaust the list in this episode, but I can tell you that if you use some of the strategies I have shared, you can actually do what you call self-healing, and you can be able to arrest parental burnout. It is my sincere hope that the insight I have shared will help you navigate and manage parental burnout. You cannot we can return optimism to your parenting by focusing on joy, love instead of disappointment. Let me conclude with scriptures written by Apostle Paul in Philippians chapter 4 and verse 19. The Bible records that whatever you have learned, whatever you have received or heard from me, put it into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. So do not just learn, do not just listen to what you have listened to, but make effort to practice so that you can enjoy the peace that God desires you to enjoy. Thank you for listening. Visit my YouTube account, Stephen Kamore. Subscribe. Why do we subscribe? So that you can continue getting updates of new weekly episodes. Visit our Facebook also, Counseling Research Institute of Kenya. Like it, follow, and access our articles and other life transforming videos. We offer family counseling services, individual counseling services, and facilitate parenting seminars and workshops. We also have a workplace counseling services, and therefore we can visit your school, we can visit your church, we can visit your organization. Contact us now using the mobile numbers provided in this video. Grad Health Walk program continues. Keep on following.